La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra ya contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot.
Hello everyone, happy Friday. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button, please. How's everyone doing? We are almost at the end of the month. Can you believe it? I feel like this year is starting to whiz by. Now that, we've got some momentum going, we've got the As Ever range coming. First day of spring. Megan posted on Instagram, first day of spring. So it shouldn't be too long now before we get As Ever. Now that we've had the cooking show, now that we know season 2 is coming, now that we know that the podcast is coming, and we're just in March. Like, we've still got so much more of the year to go. There's no way this is all that we're getting. I have to assume that season 2 will probably come out before the end of the year. Like, Netflix don't make you wait around like that when something is successful. And who knows, we may even get a holiday special, Thanksgiving special, Christmas special. Yes, give it all to us. Give it all to us. I'm here for it. I'm not even American, but I want to see that Thanksgiving special with Megan cooking. I'll recreate those recipes. All right. I can see our mods in the chat. Thank you, Polena, Elaine, Black Queen, Tamiko, hey. So now that we've got some protective forces, hey Lightside, glad you love the intro. Yeah, we needed a bit of swing back on the Duchess of Success channel. I felt like we had a little bit of a dip. We needed some joy. We need some joy back. So we got some new songs. But gosh, what was I gonna say? I feel like I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, let's get to it. Oh yeah, I was saying, now that we have some protective forces in the chat, we can start. You know, just in case William is out here in the chat with his burner account that we all now know he has. Well, we've known he's had it for a while, but it was just confirmed. I don't believe for a second that it's just William trolling football forums. Nonsense. Anyway, before we really get into it, I wanted to give a shout out to a fellow squaddy, Miss Ava. I posted about this on the community tab. Thank you everyone who's gonna subscribe so far. Ava is a squaddy. She's been around, kind of like a silent listener in the squad for a while. She has a channel that she's starting called Become That Girl Society. Now I have to say this is not a squaddy or Sussex squad channel. It's a women's empowerment channel, but she has an entire series coming up that is focused on Meghan and the royal family. And she got in contact with me and I loved it because it's very much what she's doing. She showed me bits and pieces of it. Is very much kind of in line with what I wrote in my book. So definitely go, and I'll post the link to her channel. Please go and subscribe to her. Let's get her up to 1,000 subscribers, please. That would be fantastic. I posted yesterday that it would be a 5-part series, but she updated me today that it's probably going to be about 9 or 10 episodes. And you're going to want to see, I will definitely like repost about it again when it's live, but I think you're really going to love it. Because it kind of goes along that train of like dissecting different parts of Meghan's journey, but also like life lessons. So please go and subscribe. Let's get her up to 1,000 subscribers, please. And well done, Ava. And thank you for everyone who has subscribed so far. Elaine, I remember for 33 months. For 33 months, you have listened to me blabber. Thank you, Elaine. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here. And I appreciate it so much. I joke about these things, guys, but like honestly, sometimes I don't even know how to react to the fact that you all have just been here and been so loyal for so long. Like I don't even know how to take it sometimes because I'm not really good at like taking any type of like praise or even support sometimes. But the fact that you have been here, what can I say? Just thank you and thank you again. I did get your email, by the way. I do apologize. It's been a very long week for me. I'm going to get around to it. Don't worry. You will get your Squaddy Hook stuff. And on that, Rahini is doing a special offer on Squaddy Hooks. She is going. Hang on a sec. She posted this. She said she is doubling items for Squaddy Hooks. So when you order, you will get ×2 of what you ordered. So now is your perfect time to actually get a Squaddy Hooks item if you haven't gotten one yet. And this offer will it will run for a while. So definitely get it. Oh, actually, I think she said through Easter Sunday. I'll confirm that in tomorrow's podcast, but that's the message that I have so far. So now is your perfect time. Go and get your Squaddy Hooks because that offer's not going to last long, so you can get something for you and a friend or family member, or if you just feel like having 2 hats, 2 socks, whatever. So don't sleep on Squaddy Hooks. Everyone who's gotten your items so far, please do send us pictures either through email or Insta or Twitter, wherever you can reach me. Love to repost more if you're getting your items, but most of them have reached you at this point. And thank you everyone who's bought them so far and who plans on buying them. We appreciate you so much. All right, that's the shout outs done and dusted. Let's get on to Meghan. So Meghan posted both on her personal gram and on the As Ever official, just cute pictures for spring, like nothing you know, yeah, nothing like to do with the brand so far, but I think it's more just the aesthetics that we're, building up to. First day of spring. I see a little hand holding that gardening item with the strawberries. So that's either Arch. I'm assuming that's either Archie or Lily. And I see a little foot in the background, and then Megan just with her cabbages. So just really letting it be known that you all haters out here are giving yourself high blood pressure over raspberry cakes, and I'm just gardening because the first day of spring, and you need to go outside and touch grass also. So the first thing I thought when I saw the post from As Ever was go outside and touch grass. Lower your high blood pressure because you all look ridiculous. More people inspired by Megan. Like, tell me again how any of this is unrelatable. I see about 10 odd new posts a day. See the lady in the middle there making candles for Mother's Day, somebody making the dog treats for her dog, added a little bit of her own spin to the recipe. And then someone else just, making themselves breakfast but adding some joy. Heart-shaped strawberries, nicely presented. A little bit of self-care. Really doesn't take a lot. Probably or not even probably, exactly what you are doing now with a little bit more joy and some flower sprinkles. But they wanted to tell you that it was unrelatable to them. Because even the basic things that give you joy is foreign to them. It's foreign to the haters because they're so damn miserable. Anyway, over in Archwell news, some good news. Let's see what Archwell are doing. Archwell are always doing things. Make sure that you keep checking back to the Archwell website. So, power of storytelling. It was World Storytelling Day, and to celebrate the power of storytelling as a powerful tool for creating authentic narratives and uplifting personal experience in honor of World Storytelling Day, the Archwell Foundation is proud to spotlight Joan Bogard, a member of the Parents Network, who has harnessed the power of storytelling as a way to push for change. Last week, Joan was honored at the Organization for Social Media Strategy 2025 gala following the passing of her son, Mason. Joan has become a fierce advocate for protecting families across the US from the dangers of online harm and was recognized for her dedication to this movement. Joan worked tirelessly to see Mason's Education Act passed in the state of Indiana, which mandates digital safety curriculum schools across the state, and it is so much needed, especially for young boys. There is a it's not a documentary; it's a film that's trending at the moment called Adolescence, which looks at this topic, the radicalization of young boys, especially. But of course, we know that the harms of the online world affect everyone, both boys and girls, but unfortunately girls are becoming collateral for a culture that is radicalizing young men, or the Andrew Tates of the world, um and just the whole online space. These are the type of initiatives that we need. Obviously there's other issues as well, body image, young people feeling inadequate, young people somehow connected more than ever online but disconnected and disengaged offline. So all of those issues, I'm sure the curriculums, the digital safety curriculums overlook all of that. A fellow member of the parent work shared, Joan's strength and resilience in the face of unimaginable loss is truly inspiring. It takes on an incredible amount of courage to share such a personal, heartbreaking experience in hopes of helping others. Her efforts to protect her son and her willingness to speak about the dangers of social media, highlighting the challenges of all the parents face in this digital age. We congratulate Joan on being recognized as the Parents Network continues to work alongside a safer world online. To learn more about the parents in this network, please visit the Parents Network. Incredible work from Archwell. Very much in line with Harry and Meghan's values. Obviously, the two of them, Meghan especially, being the target of industrial level hate. We're going to get onto that in a sec. and actually doing something about it, not just for themselves, for their children, but other people's children and just other people in general. This is an issue that affects all of us, but young people, obviously, being the most vulnerable in society, we need to start with them and educating them. And hopefully, if we can actually get a good, robust curriculum in schools, then we can get these young people when they're young, and then we can weed out some of these issues before they grow up. So bravo to Archwell. I feel like I haven't really given a good Archwell update in a while, but they do post regularly. But I mean, while we're on this, I guess I better get to where some of that online culture, what it creates. It creates an environment where it's basically legal to bully and harass anyone, create false narratives about anyone. It is incredible to me when I think of the um the level of hate that has been thrown at Meghan and continues to be thrown at her day in and day out. And it's just allowed on an industrial level, as Miss Anne Harriam is going to say in the clip that I'm about to play. It's just allowed. There are literally no checks and balances. Just because she's famous, just because she's in the public eye. If I walked down the street right now and yelled in someone's face profanities, I would be in trouble for that. Now, if I maybe did it a couple of times, I might get a slap on the wrist and a warning, but eventually I'm probably going to get charged for harassment. But people can do this behind fake avatars, and heck, as long as you've got the word journalist in front of your name, even if you're not an actual journalist, even if you're just a tabloid rap writer, you can do it day in and day out on massive platforms like GB News, like Good Morning Britain, like on the Daily Mail, in the Sun. No checks and balances to hold people accountable. And it's exhausting if you are a level-headed person to see this day in, day out. What more if you're somebody that actually has to live through it? Why are we as a society allowing this? And to the people who are down on their knees, mouth wide open, for the likes of Rupert Murdoch and Jonathan Rothermere, what do you gain? Is your daily dopamine hit? Let's listen to what Miss Anne had to say about this.
The industrial and very focused hate machine that I've seen, I've experienced myself due to my proximity to both Harry and Meghan, has been extraordinary. And what I would say is that, one day, her children will be adults and it'll be impossible to protect them, right, from the ledger, and it is a ledger of hate that mainly the British media has been responsible for. And what I mean by that is, last time I checked, Meghan is not dropping bombs on people. She's not annexing nations. She's not a pedophile. Yet there is way more coverage and time and words spent directing hatred towards her than people that are really, really hurting people. And I do wonder how history is going to remember those that held the pen and the microphone and kissed their kids goodnight at night and paid their mortgages off the back of focusing hatred to one woman that most of them have never met. I do wonder how history will remember those that knowingly did that for the sake of the combination of misogyny, misogynoir, greed, being part of a system that they were just like, well, I was doing what my editor told me, and not caring. I do wonder how history will remember.
I mean, when you say you've experienced it, what do you mean?
Because I've had people send me DMs saying, unspeakable things that they would want to do to her, her children, her husband, myself, unspeakable things. And you have to ask yourself, how did we get here? If you don't like her, that's fine. If you don't like the things she puts out,
The TV shows.
yeah, write an article saying you don't like it. But 24 hours focused hatred on this one woman, this mother, this human being, this soul, it's unforgivable.
Yeah. I don't know if it cut off at the end there, but I think you got the general gist of what he was saying. And, you know, I'm so glad that he said, you know, she's not dropping bombs, she's not a PDF file, because really, people that are literally that have gotten less hate than what Megan gets. And how will history judge these people? I mean, I hope it judges them harshly. They most certainly deserve it. And it's interesting that these people simultaneously dislike this woman, but are literally, they're paying their mortgages, as Ms. Han said, paying their mortgages off of this. Thank you to Kathy G for 36 months of membership. Women don't have attitudes, we have standards, indeed. Luli, you said it's been 2 years and 1 day since you became a member. Amazing. And you've made almost every dish, and now you have your very large garden ready to plant your next season of crops. Incredible. Cinderella, Megan needs to put out a cookbook. Indeed, she does. She probably will. Light side, you said, and he is right. Says so many. Gosh, my tongue today says so much about our society, the level of misery and hate some choose to disperse onto others because they are unable to deal with the issues within themselves. And that is exactly what it is. That's why I call it like their daily dopamine hit. What a sad existence they live. Can't find happiness in yourself, so you got to find misery in other people's downfall, in hating other people who are just picking their strawberries and cabbages and minding their business and living their best lives in Montecito. I mean, what you should be paying attention to is why your benefits are being cut, while we're paying 500 million a year to the royals. Following Miss Anne's statement, I also want to play this. This is from Hacked Off, the organization that are trying to get press accountability in the UK.
Over 50 million people are reading the content of those newspapers every month. And whether that's on social media, whether it's on an app, whether it's through their own website, people are accessing that news. So if anything, those newspapers are more powerful than they've ever been, regardless of the fact that for decades they've misrepresented issues, they've distorted truths, and they've abused their power. Regardless of that, because they're already established, they have become amplified in a digital age, not diminished. So yeah, this is one of my key gripes is you're endlessly going on about holding the powerful to account. You don't do that because actually the press industry on the whole is part of the establishment. They're not the watchdogs of power at all. They're actually in bed with power. So, you know, and worse than that, they are trampling on the powerless. And we see that endlessly in abuses of privacy and the willingness to run roughshod over people's lives, regardless of what the outcomes.
There you go. In bed with the bullies. And let's not forget, some of this, especially in regards to Harry and Meghan, goes right up to the royal family. My thumbnail says, "Oh, who's behind the hate?" A huge part of it is the royal family. Harry and Meghan were left exposed in Canada, no security, and their location leaked. Do not call me crazy if I say that they wanted something to happen to Harry, Meghan, and their family. Because why would you pull security and then it would be to pull security and use that as a threat, but to pull security and then leak their location. Don't call us conspiracy theorists. It's an insult. They wanted something to happen to this couple. It hasn't happened. And they are thriving. And they're going to continue to give themselves high blood pressure while Meghan cuts her strawberries. But the other thing that this constant bullying creates is an environment where people think that they can just, continuously throw jabs and think it's funny. I really do think some people, for whatever reason, don't know how to read the room. When one person is being consistently bullied, you cannot sit there and say, "Oh, what I said was just a joke. What I said was just trying to be funny, and it wasn't throwing shade." And that's basically what happened with this lady here. This account, not skinny but not fat. I think this is this yes, Tracy Anderson. She's some kind of cook influencer, something. I don't know. Ain't never heard of her until she decided to throw shade at Meghan. Now she made this video taking a dig at Meghan, saying, "Hi, I am Tracy Anderson, and this is my kitchen." Basically taking a dig at the fact that Meghan filmed her show in another house. And part of the reason they made such a big deal out of the fact of even saying it in the show was literally for security reasons. Meghan's life, her husband's life, her children's life is constantly under threat because of crazy people. That's why they had to film it in another place. And you're taking a dig at that like it's something funny. Well, Meghan had a very classy clapback. She actually sent a letter to this lady with her princess letterhead, because that's what she is. She's a princess married to the prince that they're all delusional about was going to choose them. She was like, "Oh, I'm worried for Meghan." And then Meghan wrote back saying, "I heard you were feeling scared. Don't be. This is the this is the best part. Let's enjoy it." Sorry, I can't read Meghan's calligraphy there. Very beautiful calligraphy. But she just had a very, very classy clapback. Now remember, the Sussexes just got a new communications person. So this is new. This type of written clapback, classy, is definitely new. I don't know if that's an influence from the new communications person, but I love this. Now, she later said that it wasn't a microaggression, that it wasn't throwing shade, but I'm going to play this video for you from TikTok that explains it a little bit more. And then you can make up your mind.
Let's talk about Tracy Anderson and Goop Kitchen making this not so subtle dig at Meghan Markle in their new promo for their salad partnership. Tracy Anderson is a celebrity fitness entrepreneur. She's a very good friend and longtime friend of Gwyneth Paltrow. They posted some content today where Tracy opens it up saying, "Hi, I'm Tracy Anderson, and this is my actual kitchen." Roll the tape.
Anderson, welcome to my actual kitchen.
It is so obviously a dig to the fact that Meghan Markle did not film with Love Meghan in her actual home, and the media had a field day with this. Why did they have a field day with this, you ask? Well, it's obvious. They don't like her, and they don't want us to like her. Everyone can have their opinion on Meghan, that's fine. That's not what I'm here to debate. What I'm here to discuss is the actual fact that this was so unnecessary, and it was actually so surprising coming from Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop Kitchen. Paltrow literally gave an interview to Vanity Fair, which came out yesterday, that had this quote: "When there's noise about certain women in culture, I do have always a strong instinct to stand up for them." How did we go from this quote to this in your marketing? Here's where it gets more interesting, because the article alludes to the fact that Gwyneth is actually a very hands-on CEO. She's in Slack and things like that. So you would assume she had seen this marketing before it went out. So again, I gotta ask, why this? Gwyneth also goes on to share that she has the awareness to know that we can take these shots at models and movie stars because it's fun to read, but ultimately it affects and impacts their brands that they're trying to build and the investors spending. One final time, I gotta ask, how do we go from this to this? I gotta point out, Goop Kitchen has a set kitchen. I've been in there. I filmed it. So let me be clear. Everybody is doing the set kitchen thing. It's only a conversation because it's Meghan Markle. And so the thing that gets me with this is that the media has actually created an environment where this casually thin layer of racism actually viewed as a marketing tactic and seen as an opportunity to be a part of the cultural conversation. And for more context, I was actually supposed to attend the launch event of this with a Tracy Anderson workout, and then we were going to try the salad. I ended up writing them this morning to decline. No longer aligns with my values. But I want to say, because I've worked with these people and I know that they're real people, I'm not trying to create some slam or snark video saying Goop Kitchen is racist. What I'm saying is the media has created an environment where they think that it is funny to make a dig like this for marketing purposes. It's been an opportunity to be a brand that stands on the business of women supporting other women, and you could have even filmed this in the Goop Kitchen set kitchen and made a joke about it in a positive way. You'd be having a positive conversation versus the one we're having now, still riding the Meghan Markle coat. Despite the fact that everybody else is stepping their foot off the gas of DEI, I, as a consumer, still value it. And I, as a creator, when I see something like this, am going to talk about it. It's a shame. It looked like a really good salad. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Connie said she is a nobody, so she can film in her kitchen or bedroom. Exactly. It's like when you are a nobody, heck, you can film in your toilet. I didn't even know who this woman was. A lot of these people, I don't know who they are until they have Meghan in their mouths. Thank you so much to Ellen Vernon for 29 months of membership. Thank you. You also regularly donate on Buy Me Coffee. I do see it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Jane Garcia, thank you for being here. I am so happy to create a safe space for y'all. Appreciate your membership too. Stephen, you said TV chefs don't cook in their own home, so it's just an attempt to bully her. Exactly. And why would you cook in your own home for a TV show if you're a high profile person? I mean, just in general, that's your sacred space, your home. They're obsessed with knowing everything about Meghan. They're obsessed because they don't like it when they've put themselves on a pedestal and you're doing better than them. This is what Tyler Perry actually recently said in a podcast, and I actually wanted to play this because I think it really sums up a lot of what we're seeing. Let's listen to Godfather Tyler Perry.
And you got to be careful because when you put too many people on the boat, there's some trying to put holes in it because they want it to sink because they don't like that you're sailing. Sometimes in your life, you're spinning up to the next level and people start to fall off and it hurts. It's lonely, especially when it's somebody that you really, really loved and had a great time with and wish that they could be there with you. But you have to understand and realize that that toxicity is poison to your wings. It will cause you to crash. So you have to be able to say, I love you, but I'm sorry, this does not work for me anymore. Then you get the, oh, you bougie, you changing. Oh, now you got all this and you don't want, none of that matters. Walk through the pain of the loneliness. The higher you go, the smaller that circle gets. Jealousy will show up in ways that you didn't even expect it. If people who've been right under you as long as you didn't exceed what they thought you could be. The minute you start to go higher than they believed you could go, it's ugly.
The minute you go higher than what they thought that you could go, now we have a problem. Now we have a problem, Houston. They wanted you to stay firmly on the ground. Heck, they wanted you below the Earth's crust. And now you're soaring up into space. And they can't reach or touch you. They can't compete. And mind you, it's not a competition. You're just minding your business. They're obsessed with everything you're doing. Copying you, copying your clothes, copying your ideas. Imitation is not a form of flattery. Mirroring is a form of bullying. Here's Kate, by the way, the other day in Ireland, drinking beer. Is that like a natural remedy when you've had a cancer treatment, drinking beer? Is that recommended? Drinking beer and going out into the sunlight? Interesting, is all I have to say. On the other royals, let's just stick to them for a sec. The £500 million a year royals. that money that they get is not going to be cut, it's not going to be downsized. In fact, we now know that the sovereign grant is increasing. While we're going through a cost of living crisis, and while Labour begin cutting back on benefits on some of the worst austerity measures since actually the Conservative government's last set of extreme austerity measures. I don't remember this being in the Labour manifesto, but here we are. Fight back begins over 5 billion disability benefits cuts as key questions remain over Labour's plans. No money for our most vulnerable. Oh, but they're spending plenty of money on war, plenty of money on the royals. If Charles is as unwell as I believe he is, and I believe that they are lying about his health situation, it might not be too long before we have another coronation. And let me just say that I think if William decides to have a massive coronation, it would be the dumbest thing he ever did. They need to find some small town hall somewhere, just have him sign a document, wear a suit, and let it be done with. If they have a large coronation, that will be, I think, the beginning of actual mass pushback. And it won't just be the handful of not my king folks with their yellow signs. I think we will actually have outright giant protests. Because if this is where we are now, then that 5 billion, and this is just on disability benefits for the most vulnerable. Where are we going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years? If the monarchy wants to survive the pomp, the pageantry, and the spending, they have to start cutting back too. They cannot continue to move forward the way they are while the average person is suffering like that. Now, I believe it's actually going to start to bite the average person. And this old tradition of, oh, the country's going through so much, let's bring out the royals to, boost the morale. That nonsense isn't going to work anymore. It's not going to work. Smile and wave here and there, it's not going to work. A royal wedding, and we're not going to have one for a while because the kids are still young, it's not going to work. Right now, I believe that William and Kate, or at least William, I don't know, I haven't seen pictures of Kate, is in Estonia, Tallinn, to meet with NATO troops. Okay, for what? And I thought royals were meant to stay out of politics anyway. And I thought William was trying to tackle homelessness. So seeing as we're having all these benefit cuts, shouldn't he be at home reassuring folks that we're not going to see an increase in homelessness? Because that's going to happen. The government has given you more work, William. I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but this is some real stuff right here. It's going to be interesting, folks. It's going to be interesting. And I think that the royals and the courtiers and everybody in that circle lack such self-awareness and are such narcissists that they can't even see what's coming. All of this that they have levied on Harry and Meghan, what they're also doing is they're giving the press and the public permission to come down hard on themselves when the time comes. Because now that the press don't have access to Harry and Meghan, now that we all have to find out what Harry and Meghan are doing at the same time, now that even the haters have had to come to terms with the fact that Harry and Meghan are thriving, their frustrations are eventually going to turn somewhere else. And where do you think they're going to turn first? William, Kate, Charles, and Camilla. And if you have given the public full permission with no checks and balances, not just the public, but also the tabloids, to just rip Harry and Meghan to shreds, especially and dehumanize Meghan especially, you are darn foolish if you think that's not going to come crashing straight back at you eventually. There's only so long that this can continue against Harry and Meghan. And we know that there are issues in the royal household, that there are issues with William and Kate's marriage, that there are issues, power struggles between William and Kate and Camilla and Charles, power struggles between Camilla and basically everybody else because she's trying to shove her family all on the throne. And all of that is going to come out eventually. And the tabloids, when the time is right, when they feel safe enough to, when there's no amount of lawyers that can hold them back, no amount of Williams lawyers that can hold them back, they are going to have a field day. And with that, I'm going to end the podcast. Your comments and then I'll end the podcast. Kat Harlem, member for 32 months. Thank you so much. You are never late. You can always join the replay gang. Appreciate your membership. Appreciate your presence. Appreciate you being here. Yes, Tyler Perry spoke the truth. Lady, you said they are angry that she wouldn't let them pass her security. They know exactly why Meghan didn't film in her home. Exactly. They all want to see, where is the princess living? Let me see what salt shakers she's using. Because I don't know how to have my own sense of identity. I have to copy everything. So I thought that I represented the creme de la creme, and I'm actually not. So now I'm obsessed with a woman I don't know. Light side, yeah, he's not going to read the room. He's going to have, or I don't know, maybe he's listening. Hi, William. William, if you're listening, don't have a giant king's coronation. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool, William. I mean, you look miserable as hell at your father's coronation. Don't put George and Louis and Charlotte through that either. Just have a nice small little shindig at the town hall. Sony, you said, and my opinion is Prince William is controlled by the media by fear. God help Britain, let King Charles live. Listen, Charles could live for another 100 years. The issues that we're facing in this country are such that the monarchy is going to come under more and more scrutiny as time goes on. I mean, you know, they were even talking about, I saw it come up on my feed, one of these Harry trolls, I think one of the Heritage Foundation trolls was saying that Harry should deport himself. Now that they've lost their stupid battle that they were never going to win, you're still talking about a father leaving his children and wife? Don't be ridiculous. Trader CC, you said, these detractors know why the hate for profit was poised and ready to delve into this fast but failed. The Sussexes know all too well the evil daggers are pointed at them at all times. Exactly. Lulu, you said the booing of Harry and Meghan is a good example. It's the royal family that are actually getting the boos that they had encouraged people to do to Harry and Meghan. Exactly. This is what I mean. All of this that they said, it's all going to ricochet back on them. I'm telling you, they are writing their own destinies, hoping that it's going to be Harry and Meghan, and it's actually going to be them. It's them getting booed now. Jeremy Clarkson said Meghan should be made to parade walk through the streets while feces gets thrown at her. Watch it come to William's coronation and him have feces thrown at him. They're writing their own destinies while thinking that they're burying Harry and Meghan, digging a grave for themselves. Black Queen, I give it 2 years before it comes crashing down. It's going to be huge, yeah. And I think the beginning of it is going to be William and Kate's divorce. And it's clearly William that wants a divorce more than Kate. Clearly. William should really just suck it up. Because that will be the beginning of the end. that's when people will really start to start asking questions. Anyway, you'll enjoy the rest of your Friday. If I can summon the energy, because I'm working quite a lot this weekend, I will try and do a podcast. Let's dance our way out. Thank you as always, folks, and I will see you soon. Ciao. Oh, and don't forget, oh gosh, before I go, yes, Squiddy Hooks, don't forget reminders. Squiddy Hooks, you will get double the items if you order between now and whenever Rahini decides to stop the offer. I will get confirmation on that soon, but definitely that offer is on now. So if you haven't ordered your Squiddy Hooks, now is a great chance for you to get double the items on one order. And yeah, please do go support Squiddy Ava, who will be doing a series on Megan on her channel very soon. Okay, with that, let us dance our way out. Thank you, folks. Ciao.
La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra ya contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido. Devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama. Tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito,